Hey guys, it's Beto here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we have a little bit of a different video because I wanted to share just my story so you get to know me a little bit better. Get to know a little bit of kind of what I've been through in crypto. I've been around maybe for about 2.5 years, more than that on and off. But I just wanted to get my story out to you guys just so you just get to know me, but also to share a message and really the reality of why I am in crypto. But I did get rugged like many of you guys. I'm sure you can relate, where you came to the crypto market with the hope of, you know, enhancing or bettering your financial, situation. I think that's why we're here. I think that's why most of us are here. Obviously, the stories about people getting rich quickly are one way of getting your attention, but I knew that was maybe a situation that, doesn't happen that often. However, I thought it was real, and I thought it's important to put that disclaimer of that, hey, I know that happens, but that's something that I think draws a lot of us, and that drew me in some ways. It at least got my curiosity, going crazy, because I wanted to find out why were people investing back then in Brett. Going back a little bit, I started investing in crypto back when Doge really went big, one cycle ago, or about 4 or 5 years ago. And I started also investing in SHIB, the ETH SHIB, for a while. And, I scalped both of those. I made some money, and I was able to, buy a home, place a down payment, not huge. I round tripped most of my bag, but, for me, it was still good, right? Because I made some money without doing much, just doing some due diligence and really just, looking at charts and just looking at what people were doing. But about 2.5 years ago, back in the meme pump or meme, craze that happened in 2024, around March, February or March of 2024, I decided to, come back in. I sold all my SHIB because I had SHIB still, and I decided to sell it and to invest in tokens of the base chain, because I found out that Brett was on base, Toshi was on base, and those two projects were really interesting to me, and I was able to purchase a little bit here and there, and I had my my tokens here and there, but for the most part I was looking for that opportunity where I could maximize a little bit of funds that I had. Maybe I had like $2,000, $1,800, something like that. So I found this project called Friends, right? I saw it, and it was advertised by a couple of people online on YouTube that I thought were trustworthy. I'm not going to name names, but they're two pretty reputable, or at least people think they're reputable, KOLs or influencers on YouTube. And, I decided to ape in, quote unquote, ape in all that money into a project. I started, looking at the community. I went into Telegram. I did a bunch of stuff to make sure that I was doing the right thing, right? Because I knew money's hard to come by. Money's difficult to get. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I was investing my money at least something that had potential, that could potentially get there to where I wanted to be. I didn't know how much I wanted to make. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know about market cap, anything about that. I started learning as I went. But for the most part, for me, it was just that opportunity of kind of like a lottery ticket, right? Thinking about maybe this project was going to go, 10x, 100x, whatever it was. I thought that was something that was a possibility. So I invested heavily on it. And over, a few months, I started, putting money into it. I even talked to the developer one-on-one, on the phone, not the actual real phone, the Telegram. This guy obviously was hidden. I'll tell you that the project was Friends, so you can know, full transparency. You're going to start seeing some trash cans behind you. Yeah, it was that project. It was Friends, and I started investing quite a bit because I thought, okay, this has a legit opportunity to make, some money. It's a legit opportunity to, at least double, triple, maybe even quadruple, or, 100x my funding. And, I did it. So I started investing heavily. Like I said, I talked to the developer. He promised a lot of things. He mentioned a lot of things that he was going to do. so on and so forth, and it pumped and went really high. Made some money. I didn't sell because I wanted to hold until it went to a higher market cap. And then just, you know, we were sold a bunch of lies basically about what was going to happen and what the developer was going to do. And the community was really tight knit. It was a really fun group of people. I still talk to some of them online. And there was a bunch of just people that from all walks of life, from all sorts of places, that came together because, you know, we believed in the project when a guy really, you know, talked about it as if it was going to be a legit project. Maybe it was initially. Maybe there was something that he really thought it was going to have legs and go, you know, far. But eventually, what happened is we started getting fed lies, right? We started getting fed maybe false promises, I would say, and the project started dying. Some people sold. You know, we were hoping for that pump. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with the market, but a lot of these folks that were in there were hardcore, right? We're passionate about it. We believed in the utility of this project. We did want to make it something special, and we had a special community. People cared, really cared about each other. They still do. Some of these people I still talk to, like I said, and we were in it. You know, it was just really, really shady from the beginning, and I should have caught it. But I think when you're promised big gains and when you start seeing like there's potential for it, I think you start losing a little bit of sight into what some of those things and some of the red flags that you in real life wouldn't really consider, right? In real life, if somebody starts spilling me some of these promises, I'm going to be really skeptical about it. Online, for some reason, it was easier just because you would see all the money being thrown around at other projects pumping and people making money and then talking about it online like it's nothing. So, you know, we were there. This developer even went as far as talking to millionaires and having them invest. I think one of these folks lost about $50,000. And he was, you know, being promised things here and there, just like everybody else. So this developer would talk to people individually, just to promise them things and to give them false hope. Even if you were like a $10 investor, or if you were a $100 investor or a $10,000 investor, it didn't really matter. This guy would treat everybody the same, which I think is why it worked, right? But anyway, enough of this scumbag. I really just want to share kind of what went on. It's that the promises kept going. He would pump the project here and there. He would invest money every once in a while, making sure that even the KOLs would put more money into it. Actually, more videos created, and so on and so forth. Sorry, I was losing a handle here. And you know, the project would pump, and what I think was happening is he was selling, right? These folks that were the insiders, quote unquote, were selling when the project would pump. There were other, you know, very popular people with a lot of followers that were doing the same thing. They would get involved, they would sell, and we would still keep holding, right? Because we thought we were going to go pretty high and so on and so forth. So anyway, in a nutshell, I was I fell for a very slow rug. It took about a year, about 9 months for it to really bottom out. And I finally decided to jump off board and sell. I was able to sell before some of the bigger whales that were also misled sold. So I was able to leave with a couple $1,000 when I invested, you know, maybe like 8,000. Fortunately, I've, you know, made that back with other projects. But I did really just want to share this because I want people to learn just from my mistake. I want people to learn from some of the things that I did, some of the things that I shouldn't have done, and some of the things that I now do, right? So just to give you an idea, I guess, you know, don't go for hype. That's one of my main, you know, pieces of advice that I can give you. Do your due diligence. Before you invest in anything, make sure that the project is solid. And I'm working on a video that I'll share with you guys soon about it. Make sure that the project is solid. There really is no telling if the developer is going to be 100% truthful or 100%, you know, honest with the project. But you can definitely, you know, get a sense of, you know, the transparency behind the project. And if they're sharing everything that they're doing. They're doing everything that they're saying they're going to do as well. That's important. Take a look at the community. The community is always going to be wild. Crypto is a wild space, especially meme projects. But you're going to be able to tell from the community if the community is on board, right? Make sure nowadays that the project, if you're investing in a meme token or a crypto project, make sure that they have some sort of revenue stream. Make sure that they have some sort of way to gather funds. And then that utility is really important as well nowadays. So make sure that the project has some sort of utility. Now, you know, all these projects, the likelihood of these projects making it big, it's not very big. You know, nothing's guaranteed. Don't fall for that hype that they're, you know, that even the bigger investors or even the small investors are pumping. It's just hype, right? Be smart about, you know, the way you enter these projects and the way you get out. Have an exit strategy, have a plan, you know, just really about doing all your due diligence and really doing a lot of planning and really just being solid in how you are investing and the way that you're trying to, you know, make a profit. If you make 2x, 3x, sometimes that's great, you know, depending on the project. You know, if you want to do more and go high risk, then go high risk. But know that you are obviously going into a very high risk project. Always know how much you can invest. Don't, you know, throw your money away. Money is hard to gain. Money is hard to get. You know, if you have a regular job, you know, just don't throw it away because the money can just disappear. You know, you become desensitized when you are in crypto, because the money, it's almost like play money, right? It's almost like monopoly money. You don't see the actual, you know, dollar bills leaving your wallet. So that's something that's another lesson that I found. And sorry if I'm just throwing out there just thoughts and lessons, but that's the whole idea behind this video. Just wanted to be real. Just wanted to be really honest with you guys. Share my story and kind of show you kind of where I live a little bit in San Diego. And in the end, I guess the best piece of advice that I can give you is just be smart with what you're investing. Make sure that you are doing your due diligence. That is all. I think I'll leave it at that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the comments below, let me know if you want more real stories like this and just information like this that I'll share with you. Like I said, I'm producing some videos, doing live streams, doing everything on YouTube. I really want to make this channel work, because in the end, what I'm trying to do is make sense of the crypto market and make sense with the crypto market with a community like you guys. And if we recently surpassed the 250 subscribers, and I'm doing as a token of my appreciation, I'm doing a quick $25 giveaway. So be sure to subscribe and comment on that video. I'm gonna link it in the description, so you can go and comment in the short. So you can also qualify for that giveaway. It's 25 bucks. I'm gonna be getting a token. The token is blue. It's my new favorite meme token, and I'm going to be doing it on the end of the month of January. So the last day of January, so next Saturday, I'll be doing that. So thank you for joining, guys. A little bit longer video, a little bit different, but just wanted to do this for you guys. Hope you're having a great one. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.